Well, hello, and thanks for watching today. My name is Cindy Hazel Geets, and I've been involved in the community roundtable discussions that Town Councilor Patricia Simone has hosted over the past several months with our nonprofit groups, our essential services, our sports leadership teams, and our churches. So today I have the privilege of introducing you to Pastor Tim Schneider. He's the pastor at Good Shepherd Lutheran Church in Amherstburg. And so Pastor Schneider, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for doing this.
You're welcome. So I'd like to begin just by asking you to give us a brief description of the services, the ministries that are provided through Good Shepherd to the community, and just an overview of the demographic of people that you serve here in Amherstburg.
Okay. Well, for the services or ministries that we provide, obviously we do have every week we have our worship services, which are, of course, open for the public, for all the community to come in and join with us. We have every year we've been hosting a turkey dinner that has seen hundreds of people from this community come and join with us. The people here do a wonderful job making this wonderful Thanksgiving dinner with all the fixings and wonderful homemade meal. We have of course our daycare that's here. I don't know if you've spoken to them yet or if you will, but they go from infant, I think it's like 18 months, I think, all the way up to school age. It's been, we're working on our grounds right now. We're putting in a new rubber playground, and we do care for the kids here, and also sharing with them the love of Christ that God has given to us. In the daycare as well, we have here, we call it a mercy committee that is in charge of doing organizing works of mercy from our congregation. So we have been doing things like doing food drives for the local mission here, especially over the summer, in times when donations just go down. Usually people focus on Thanksgiving, Christmas, and then maybe Easter, but then after that, usually there's a drought in donations. And so knowing that our Mercy Committee made it a goal last year to have a food drive throughout the whole summer.
Wow.
We probably would have been doing that again this year if it had not been for COVID-19. I mean, we probably still could be doing that. We are right now, we are offering and handing out gift cards for our local grocery stores for $50 each. This past weekend, I handed out 3 more of those gift cards to people who needed them. We also offer, if you're not able to leave your home, we will send people to go in and pick those groceries up and then deliver them to your door. Again, totaling $50. We can't guarantee what they'll be able to find because grocery stores aren't getting what they're used to getting, but we'll get what we can and deliver that to their door if that is a need. So our demographics really, they span from like birth to grave, especially when you throw in the weddings and funerals that our church provides for for Christians in our community, and that comfort that we bring in those times, and even now in this difficult time. With those 3 cards that I sent out, there has also been some time of just talking about some of the challenges that people have been going through and praying with them. There's a lot of people who are indeed hurting and are in need, and you said it before, these uncertain times, it's what we're dealing with, right? And God calls the church to, in those uncertain times, be a place of mercy and love for those who are around. And that's what we're trying to do here at Good Shepherd.
It sounds like you're really recognizing what the needs are and joining in God's work in the community. So thank you for that. In these challenging times when people are self-isolated and lonely, what are you most grateful for as a church?
I really appreciate this question, actually. At this time, it's so easy for us to get negative, right? To talk about the things that we're frustrated with. And we hear that all the time. So this one, I really appreciate the question. And personally, the thing that I am most grateful for, are those people God has put in place to continue to make sure that we're cared for. People like, of course, the doctors and nurses who are at our hospitals, all the researchers at all the universities across the world working on treatments and vaccines, but then also grocery store workers, right? Most people who are working like almost minimum wage, and yet still putting their health on the line every time they go into work. And all the truckers who are involved in that food supply, all the farmers, especially those migrant workers who are just getting hammered right now in our area. Just beat up by this outbreak, but then also those who still had to work through the worst of the pandemic to keep the lights on, keep the internet going. Grateful for the work and services that they have continued to do throughout this difficult time.
It's great to recognize all of those folks who are continuing on with challenges for our behalf. So thank you for that. What would you say are the greatest needs in your church family currently, and how can people come alongside you and help your church family or the community at large?
One of the biggest challenges that we have is in getting the word out, in just, like for our gift cards, for instance. The Rivertown Times was very helpful. They had written a nice big story about this thing that we were doing, and it did create interest. We did get calls in regards to it. But it still felt, that interest quickly dried up, and it felt like it was just because people didn't know. And so, this past week, I went to the Rivertown Times again, said, is there more that we can do? Here's the blurb that I have created. Again, they were very helpful. They put it on their Facebook page, Twitter. I went to a few Facebook groups that I'm a part of for Amherstburg, put it on there, and it did create the interest, but I still feel like there's people in places that just don't know that we're offering this, and that's probably the biggest need. And I had met with our neighbor, our mayor, once. I think it was several months ago, and he was saying the same thing. Right? It's just this challenge of getting the word out. And so this is really helpful, right, in helping us talk about those gift cards that we're doing, the work of our Mercy Committee. And, that Mercy Committee has also worked to support some of our daycare families as well. And yeah, the biggest need that we have is maybe just that word of mouth that says, we are, if you need help, yeah, they are offering these gift cards there. We can't guarantee that we'll have them forever. We have a set amount of funds for this gift card drive, but we still have plenty left. And yeah, we just need to, it's the challenge of getting that information out and letting people know that we have them.
Well, hopefully this will help in some form, and people will share that information. And finally, I just wanted to ask you what you're looking forward to in the coming year. Is there some special thing you're looking forward to as a church family in the coming year?
Well, as a church family, we are looking forward to, we have 2 of our young people who are coming up for a time of teaching where they're going to be growing from, where we basically say, okay, you're entering into this faith now as an adult. Here are things that you need. Here are things that we can hand on to you to prepare you for your challenges as an adult living this faith, with all the challenges that are in the world around you. So we're looking forward to having. We're looking forward to them beginning in this process. It's a 2-year process. I'm always excited for Christmas. I'm already starting to think about that and what it's going to look like. Praying that it can be a bit more normal than things are right now. But even if it's not, taking time to think, what can we do to still remember this big event, the celebration of our Lord's birth. And of course, there's always the Thanksgiving dinner, which is always it's a lot of work, but we also, we enjoy the time together that we have in preparing it, serving it, and then also spending time together and cleaning it up afterwards.
Yeah. A real relationship building experience, I'm sure, for all of those celebrations and
Yes.
learning for the young people. That sounds really exciting.
Yeah.
Well, Pastor Schneider, thank you so much for giving us a little bit of a glimpse into your church family life. And thank you on a personal note for all you're doing for our community, just to bring hope to them and even come alongside with practical needs and supply their practical needs. We just really appreciate everybody's efforts in your church throughout the community, individual families, right on up to the leadership team there. So thank you so much. And friends, I just want to encourage you to be in touch with Pastor Schneider. If you have needs, he does have the gift cards, and I'm sure there's other areas that if there's individual needs and you would contact him, he'd be able to help guide you or direct you, if not their church, but to other resources. So please be in touch with them if there's anything at all that you need, or if you're interested in attending services or getting connected online, if you're not comfortable in person yet, he can help you with that as well. So I think we'll leave it there for today, Pastor Schneider. And again, thanks so much for all your good work in the community. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay.